I would like to take this opportunity to welcome each one of you to the Domingo Medical Complex and the rededication ceremony of the Hastings Memorial. As the predecessor to the Domingo Medical Complex, the previous Hastings U.S. Army Reserve served as an important local historical landmark, but more importantly, it served as a staunch reminder of ageless values including valor, dedication, the pursuit of freedom, self-sacrifice, and above all else, the imperative of going beyond the call of duty. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the original Hastings Army Reserve, I'd like to spend a few minutes highlighting his life and legacy. Private Joe Ray Hastings was a soldier in the U.S. Army and originally from Malvern, lived in Canton and also in Magnolia, Ohio. He fought in World War II and deliberately exposed himself to hostile fire while saving most of his men, which resulted in his untimely death at the age of 20. He was awarded the Medal of Honor shortly after his death. The Medal of Honor is bestowed by the President of the United States of America in the name of the Congress upon members of the United States Armed Forces who distinguished themselves through copious gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his or her life above and beyond the call of duty while engaged in an action against the enemy of the United States of America. The Hastings Army Reserve was built in 1957 and served as a basic and medical training facility for a multitude of U.S. Army men and women, many of which who later were transferred overseas to defend this country or to provide medical support services. In addition to the Hastings Army Reserve being constructed and dedicated in Private Hastings' memory, the U.S. Army transport ship, Private Joe R. Hastings, was named after him in October of 1947. How does one assign value to human life and limb? There are many of you in attendance who have bore the weight of human life sacrificed by an armed force member in pursuit of universally held ideals. At this time, I would like to acknowledge all those Army servicemen and women who made sizable sacrifices in order to serve and protect this country, especially those service members who served the 350th Evacuation Hospital, the 256th Combat Support Hospital, the 192nd Quartermaster Detachment, the 4,202nd USA Hospital Detachment 2, and the 362nd Medical Detachment, all military personnel and their loved ones. It is my sincere hope that the current Hastings Memorial will continue to serve as a beacon of progress while simultaneously providing a tangible reminder of the importance of going beyond the call of duty and living one's life with conviction, passion, and purpose. What is now known as our medical complex is a accumulation of more than 30 years of tireless, impassioned, and purposeful dedication in serving our community to the best of one's ability. One patient, one mother, one child, one daughter, one aunt, one grandmother, one cousin, one neighbor, one colleague, one student, one resident, one friend, and one family member at a time. It has always been my belief that every human being, regardless of any extraneous factor, deserves to be treated with dignity and respect. Moreover, I have wholeheartedly devoted myself to the compassionate practice of medicine. Each day, I strive with my colleagues for excellence in the field by always doing more than is minimally required, not because one is going to reap the benefits of some tangible reward, but instead because it's the right thing to do. In line with this belief system and ongoing preoccupation with doing what is right in terms of providing high-quality medical care services, it is important to keep in mind that although this medical complex has been repurposed, his mission will continue to be aligned with all of those service members who trained at the Hastings U.S. Army Reserves, including the 350th Evacuation Hospital, and who also avowed to go beyond the call of duty in pursuit of some intangible collective good. I would like to recognize all those individuals who have made instrumental in terms of helping us translate our dreams of opening a global OBGYN practice and an ambulatory center. First, I would like to thank my wife Rosie for her unconditional support, her input in all stages of the project, beginning with its inception. Rosie provided invaluable input as far as the complex layout and interior design. I would like to thank all of my daughters, Jessica's, Stephanie, Angela, Miranda, Ebony, and Brandy for their support, feedback, enthusiasm throughout this entire project. In terms of translating this dream, in terms of the construction, building materials and layout, I would like to give a special thanks to Dave Mann and Andy Parson of Mann's Architect in Akron for their expertise and innovative design. I also would like to thank Julia, our interior decorator, who helped us to maintain contemporary yet warm and inviting spaces throughout the complex. I would like to acknowledge Augie's dedication and oversight of many of the project's moving pieces, including construction, subcontractors, installation of electrical units, and plumbing fixtures. I would also like to thank Karen Monahan, my office manager and administrator, for assistance in helping to coordinate numerous meetings with the architect, banks, suppliers, and for actively monitoring the status of the initial bid to obtain the Hastings Army Reserve building. My colleague and dear friend, Dr. Daniel Kiko, for her active participation and brainstorming for the building. And I would like also to thank Danielle's husband, John, for supporting Danielle's time away from home so she can participate in projects pre-planning and pre-construction and out to the end of its completion. Dr. Ferris Aquaria and his wife Hala, and Steve and Dr. Steve Willard and his wife Melinda for their ongoing feedback to this project. I would like to give special thanks to some of my to all my staff, namely Ken Roberts, Kathy West, and Laurie Jakubich, and all the staff champions for their contributions and feedback. Lastly, I would like to thank Key Bank for their support throughout this whole project. Without them, all this would not be possible. I would like to take a moment to recognize the members of the Hastings families, some of them that have traveled over 5 hours drive from Michigan and around to come to be with us today. So please have them probably stand up so they can be recognized. I have Freddie Hastings and husband Theo. Scott and Christina Macmillan. And did I miss anybody? Well, thank you so much for coming, and thanks for all your contributions to the Hastings Memorial, for all that you've given us. We will keep this in mind. We look at this every day, and hopefully it will guide us over the centuries to come. Thank you so much, and I also would like to thank the a special thanks to the American Legions for being here today to serve us.